time. Let's do 1.1.4. So 1.1.4. On 1.1.4, they gave us square root 2x plus 5 minus 3 divided by square root 2x plus 5 equals to negative 2. So how do we solve this? You multiply everything by the denominator. But before you even start multiplying by the denominator, there's something that I've actually picked here. 2x plus 5 is exactly as 2x plus 5. They're both the same, right? So if we have two things which are the same, we can apply the K method. So let K equals to 2x plus 5. So whenever I see 2x plus 5, I'm substituting K. So we have square root. Where I see 2x plus 5, I'm substituting K minus 3 divided by square root again, K equals to negative 2. So as from here, our denominator is square root K. So we need to multiply everything by our denominator so that we can avoid working with fractions. So we have K multiplied by square root K again minus 3 over square root K multiplied by square root K over 1 equals to negative 2 multiplied by square root K over 1 again, square root K over 1. So K, square root K and square root K, they cancel. Here we're left with minus 3. Square root and square root cancel, we're left with K equals to, when we multiply these two, we get negative 2 square root K. And then as from here, we still are having what? The square root. How do you remove the square root? We need to square both sides. We square both sides. So I've squared both sides. Now I'll end up getting K minus 3 as well as K minus 3 because of that squared, which means I need to open these two brackets twice. Right? So here I have negative 2 square root K. So I must distribute that exponent 2. I must distribute the exponent 2. I must first multiply this, right? So when we square this negative 2, we get 4. But when we square this root K, square root and the square, they cancel. Now we're left with what? K. And then as from there, now let me just continue this side so that I don't waste time. So we have K times K, we get K squared. K times negative 3, we get minus 3K. And then K times negative 3, we get minus 3K. And then negative 3 times negative 3, we get positive 9 equals to 4K. Now let's continue, guys. So now let's collect the like terms, add them, or subtract them. So we have K squared. These two, they're like terms. So we need to add them. Negative 3, they give us negative 6. And then we transpose 4K. When we transpose 4K, it changes to a negative 4K plus 9 equals to 0. And K squared, when we add these two, we get negative 10K plus 9 equals to 0. Negative 10K. Therefore, now we need to factorize this. So we're looking for factors of 9. When we add them, they must give us a negative 10. So we have 9 and 1. Since there's a positive, which means in our brackets, we need to have the same signs. Which signs are we using within these two brackets? We take the sign of the middle term, which is negative and negative. And then as from there, K minus 9 equals to 0, or k minus 1 equals to 0, and therefore we transpose 9, and then we end up getting k equals to 9, or k equals to 1. Okay, but remember now, guys, we're not solving for k. The question said we must solve for x. So, and we said k is equals to what? 2x plus 5. We said k is equal to 2x plus 5. So when we see k, we substitute 2x plus 5 equals to 9. And then for this one as well, we need to say 2x plus 5 equals to 1, right? And then as from there, let's solve for x. How do we solve for x? We transpose 5 so that we can isolate x. So now we have 9 minus 5, 2x equals to 4, and then we divide both sides by 2. We divide both sides by 2, 2 and 2 cancels, and then x is equals to 2. And then as from there, we transpose 5 again. We end up getting 2x is equals to 1 minus 5. And then 2x is equals to 1 minus 5 gives us negative 4. And then we divide both sides by 2. 2 and 2 cancels, and then we have negative 2, right? And then after getting these two solutions, just because we're solving a set, right? So we need to test our solutions. So when we test these two solutions, this one actually doesn't balance. Actually, I would say that it doesn't balance. So which means this one is what? Not applicable. And then this is the correct solution. What do I mean when I say it's actually doesn't balance? Ne? So let's say now, for an example, okay, let's go back to our question. Let's go back to our question. Good people, let's go back to our question. Our question says square root 2x plus 5 minus 3 over square root 2x plus 5 equals to negative 2. So after getting these two solutions, I got 2 and negative 2. You need to substitute 2 back to this equation. And then you check if left hand side is equal to the right hand side. If the left hand side is not equal to the right hand side, which means that solution is not applicable, right? So we checked 2, and then we didn't get negative 2, which means that one is not applicable. And then we checked negative 2, and we got negative 2 here, which means left hand side was equal to the right hand side, which means now negative 2 is the correct solution, guys, for us. So meaning negative 2 is the correct solution. So we were actually testing. I hope everyone understood. I hope everyone understood the I think this is the end of our session. Thank you.